You are now listening to the smooth sensations and high vibrations of Alex, host of the best relationship channel on YouTube. Alex, drop them gems on us.
None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb. First people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Alex. Shout out to the Elite Fleet. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can become a member of the Elite Fleet. And it's daylight savings time, guys. Right now, it's almost 7 o'clock and the sun is still out. That springtime is coming. I hope y'all been in the gym, fellas. Know what I mean? I hope y'all been getting y'all money up, working on the skill. The women about to be outside, and I hope y'all in position to pick some of them up. And for the ladies, same thing. I hope you've been working on snatching your bodies. All right? I hope you've been working on your self-esteem and your standards, because the men about to be out here. All right, you got the fellas out here looking for wives, the fellas out here looking for girlfriends. You got the fellas out here looking to trick, but you're going to have to look a certain way to get it. So whatever angle it is, all right? Like I said, I don't judge. If you're a woman and you just want to, have your fun and get your paper, hey, do your thing. If you're a woman and you want to get married and find a good prospect, the single men about to be out here, and vice versa for the men. You want to find you a good girl, the girl's about to be outside. As long as you know how to vet, you can find you a good one. All right, you just want to have some fun and run through some chicks. Do what you want to do. All I ever say is use protection. Don't knock nobody up. Don't get no STDs. All right? But that's not what the video is about. What I want to talk about is the Jalen Green and Draya Michele situation. Jalen Green, of course, the NBA player. Draya Michele, the thought. Reality TV thought. Video vixen thought. Whatever you want to call it. It's what you might call it. But she's a famous thought. And I want to talk about it because I want to come from a different perspective than most content creators are coming from, right? Most content creators are talking about the age gap. I don't give a damn about the age gap. The reality of the situation is women can date younger if they want to. I don't have a problem when men date younger, so I would be a hypocrite to have a problem when women date younger. Now, I know y'all going to say, oh, it's a double standard because, if it was a 40-year-old man knocking up a 22-year-old girl, if a 40-year-old man knocked up Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark or any young woman on the come up, people would look down on that. Women would be going off. I understand. But let me drop y'all a very early gem before we even get into the topic. All right? And the women are going to disagree with me. Ignore them, because it's part of their manipulation to pretend that when someone tells the truth about them that it's not true. Women are hypocrites. All right? That's part of female nature. I keep telling you guys, women are not built to fight and be physical. Women are built to survive by manipulation and using their brain. Being a hypocrite is part of female manipulation. Hence why I tell you guys all the time, do not expect fairness and do not expect benevolence from women, because you're not going to get it. All right? Women will come whenever something's in your favor, right? They'll come and talk to you about how it's not fair. It shouldn't be like that. It's not equal, blah, blah, blah. But when something's in their favor, they won't say a thing. For example, modern women got a problem with the expectation of having to cook and clean. Not all of them, but a lot of them. But they don't have a problem with your expectation of having to be a protector and provider. Modern women say, hey, men shouldn't be able to put their hands on women, but they aren't trying to put a law out here that says they should go to jail too and get the same consequences when they put their hands on men. And they're well aware that they don't get the same consequences when they put their hands on men. They don't care. All right? Women are well aware that the marriage laws are outdated, unbalanced, and a lot of women get money they have no business getting from the men. They don't give a damn until they have to pay alimony, until they have to pay child support, until they're the breadwinners. Then they care. So just understand, I'm not going to waste 20 minutes of my time talking about the hypocrisy and the bias when it comes to women dating younger versus men dating younger, because it's a waste of time, because no matter what I say, it is what it is. Because women are going to be hypocrites. So I don't even care about that. What I want to focus on is lessons that can actually help people, all right? Because I ain't even going to talk about the NBA players no more, because they're idiots. They're idiots, especially the ones in Gen Z. Something is wrong with them. NBA players are dumb. And in the words of Brittany Renner at the beginning of the video, if you want to have an easy come up, get you a ball player, specifically a basketball player, because they're an idiot. They're idiots. They'll knock up strippers. They'll knock up prawn stars. They don't care. I mean, you talk about Draya Michele. This is a woman who's not only a baby mother by 2 different men. One of the last men she made her baby daddy and put on child support was Orlando Scandrick, who's an NFL player. So how stupid do you have to be, right, to try to swim where not one but 2 different men sink and think it's going to be different for you as a professional athlete than it was for Orlando Scandrick? It's not. It's not going to be different. Not only that, but this is Draya, who got famous for leaving her kids at home by herself. She left her kid at home by herself for days. And this is the woman you're going to put your seed in. This is the woman you're going to trust with your child. It's a waste of time to talk about. I ain't going to talk about it. What I will talk about, right, and what I am going to discuss in this video is how, one, any woman who wants to have a baby with you and does not want to get married to you is a hoe, and she's scamming. All right? That's number one. And number two, any woman who's significantly older than you, and she's not just trying to have a fling with you. It's not a sexual thing, but she wants to be in a relationship with you. She is a hoe, and she is scamming. Now, let me break these 2 things down so that men can understand, because the hell with that, NBA players are lost cause, ball players are lost cause. I'm trying to help the modern man, all right? Number one, I'm going to let you guys know something right now, all right? I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. To black women, and Hispanic women too. I know every time I talk about Hispanic people, it's always someone in the comments in their feelings. Like when I said Hispanic men don't make more money than black men, which is not my opinion, it's a fact, and I proved it. There was someone in the comments, well, Hispanic men get money under the table. That doesn't get counted. So do black men. If you're going to count the money that Hispanic men get under the table that doesn't get counted because they don't have green cards and stuff, then you have to count the drug money that most black men get under the table that doesn't get counted. Which y'all never do when y'all call black men broke. So we're not counting under the table money. At the end of the day, legally money making, Hispanic men do not make more than black men. With that being said, black women have a single parent ratio of 75%. Hispanic women have a single parent ratio of 50%. So Hispanic women and black women, all right, these 2 groups of women, in their heads, a baby is the same as a ring. See, Asian women and white women value the ring because they understand, not only do they come from families that are married, and again, Asian women understand the value of marriage. You understand what I'm saying to you? They know, listen, if I have your baby, yeah, I can get child support, but the child support is going to be over in 18 years. But if I can get you to marry me, if I can play the role and apply enough pressure to get you to marry me, I get child support, I get alimony, and I get half your assets. Which means I get half the cars, I get half the houses, I get half of your Social Security and retirement and pension. I get way more money. Asian women and white women understand this. Black and Hispanic women don't. The reality of the situation is most black and Hispanic women don't even expect to get married. They weren't raised to be wives. They don't expect, let me not say that. Hispanic women are raised to be wives, but only 50% of them will ever get married. But black women specifically, they're not even raised to be wives. Most black women have no expectation of getting married. I remember when I was in college, I used to ask black women all the time, I used to be like, the way that y'all move and the way that y'all set y'all lives up, it seems like you don't even expect anyone to ever marry you and to ever be a family with anyone. You're just stuck on independence. You're prepared to have to take care of yourself. You're prepared to have a kid and have to take care of it by yourself. You can just see it in the way that they move. Now, like I said, with Hispanic women, it's more 50-50, right? But with black women, the majority of them, they don't ever see themselves getting married. They don't. So to them, the baby is the same as the ring. They don't understand how many more benefits you get from marriage because no one around them is married. All they know is if I get a baby from you, then I get money. If I get a baby from you, it's supposed to mean something. A black woman becomes a baby mother and she wants to be treated like a wife. Why do you think you hear black women say so much, that's your baby mother, as if it should mean something? It doesn't mean anything. But they say it as if it should mean something because in their head, that's like the equivalent of, well, that's your wife. That's who you had kids with. Now, the baby daddy don't mean shit, right? This goes back to the hypocrisy of women. No one says, well, that's your baby dad. You shouldn't talk about him like that. Well, that's your baby dad. You shouldn't treat him like that. They only say that about your baby mother. But again, there's nothing you can do about the hypocrisy of women. Nothing. So I'm saying all this, you guys, to say, if you get a black woman or a Hispanic woman pregnant, she ain't gonna delete that kid, all right? even if you the raggediest of bums, right? Most of the time she ain't getting rid of that kid. But if you got anything going for yourself, anything at all, she's not getting rid of that kid. And if you are a high earning man, 6 figures or more, or in Jalen Green's case, you're a millionaire, you have no shot of her getting rid of that child. I couldn't believe I laughed. I literally laughed when I see Anthony Edwards text the thought he got pregnant. Oh, you got to get rid of that. She ain't getting rid of that. She cashing out. She hit the jackpot. That was her life strategy to have a rich man's child. So you have to understand when you are a man, right? Especially a black or Hispanic man. The most important thing you can do is protect your seed. You cannot orgasm in these women. You can't nut in them. You cannot come in them. If you do, they are going to have the baby. And you're going to be paying for 18 years. And they are not going to be a good mother to your child. See, Draya Michele, leaving her son at home by himself for days while she out here trying to get some D. They're not going to be a good mother to your child. They are not going to get rid of the child. They're going to cash that check the whole 18 years, and they're going to talk about you like a dog while doing it. You have to understand this. Again, even if you aren't successful, you aren't an elite man. You aren't even a high earning man. Just because you're a high earning man does not mean you're elite. But you're not either. You're not an elite man. You're not a high earning man. They probably still gonna put your ass on child support. So just understand, the most important thing you could do as a black man or a Hispanic man is protect your seed. You have to guard your seed just like Asian men and white men have to guard who they give a ring to. All right? That's your life right there. You come in the wrong woman, you marry the wrong woman, your life is over. She's going to drag you through hell. Draya Michele is the wrong woman. Now, I'm not telling you not to smash Draya. She's beautiful. Draya's gorgeous. Anyone saying Draya's not gorgeous is crazy. She's fine as hell. But you're just supposed to have a condom of the highest prestige when smashing a woman like Draya, especially if you're a man like Jalen Green. As a matter of fact, if I was Jalen Green, I would put a condom on and still pull it out, because there ain't no way in hell you're going to be leaving my son at the house by himself. And I ain't having no kid with your old ass. And it's crazy because Draya has a son the same age as Jalen Green. So imagine how embarrassing that is for him. He probably go to the club with his friend. He turning up, go shorty, it's your birthday. And he see his mom twerking on Jalen Green in the corner. How embarrassing is that for him? All right, but I also want to move on to point 2. Guys, again, if an older woman's ever dealing with a younger man, it's a scam. Just like a woman having a baby out of wedlock is a scam 9 out of 10 times by a woman who does not believe she's going to ever be married and she's trying to secure a bag. This is nothing but a retirement plan for Draya, right? But it's the same thing with an older woman. Understand, because I know some of y'all like, well, we got cougars, Alex. There's cougars. A cougar is a woman who likes to sleep with younger men. Let it breathe, run it back. A cougar is a woman who likes to sleep with younger men. Not marry younger men, not date younger men. All right? Because here's the reality. Jalen Green is the exception in this case because he's an NBA player. But the reason women generally date men older than them, right, is for the same reason men generally date women younger than them. Men date women younger than them because of youth, beauty, and fertility, right? She can give you a lot of babies. She has a longer clock. She's useful. She's good looking. And she has high fertility. Women date older men because older men are at their peak production years. They've already become high-level executives at their companies. They've already worked to the top, right? They might be even older. They might be sugar daddy age and they done cashed out their pensions and their retirements, right? But the older a man gets, the more money he gets. If you look at my last video, right? Well, the video before my last one, I'm talking about how it's better to combine your incomes than to be alone. If you look at that graph of male income, every single race of men, every single one, earned more money as they got older because they got higher positions, they got more experience, they got more skills, they earned more money. So an older man's in a better position to be able to protect and provide for you. That's why women date older. So for a woman to date younger makes absolutely no sense because we know women ain't going to take care of you. So generally, at bare minimum, if they can't find someone and exercise hypergamy and find someone who makes more than them, then they at bare minimum want to find someone who can match them. 9 out of 10 times, like I said, Jalen Green and NBA players and stuff like that are the exception. A younger man is not going to be able to match an older woman. Not only is he not going to be able to match her financially, which is huge for women, he isn't even going to have the maturity level to have a conversation with this woman or anything like that. He ain't going to be able to teach her nothing, drop no wisdom, drop no gems, have a real conversation. He has no life experience. So with me saying all that, you would have to say, well, what would be the benefit for older women dating a younger man? It would only benefit in the case that this young man just happened to become a high earning man like Jalen Green, like Zion Williamson, right? Like Anthony Edwards, or you might happen to come out of college and immediately land a job as a computer engineer or something. Or, you might happen to come out of college and immediately land a job as an actuary or something like that where you're making 6 figures or more. Now, an older woman might want to talk to you because she wants to take advantage of you. First of all, if a woman's 40 years old and she's worth anything, I don't care. I know the women are going to get mad at me for saying this. I'm just being honest. If she's 40 years old and she desires to have a kid, right? She desires to have a child and she desires to be married and she desires to have a family. Whether they like it or not, women have a fertility clock. A 39-year-old is way past geriatric pregnancy. She should have been done this if that's what she desires. So I have to make the assumption if that's what she desires and she has not done it yet, something must be wrong. Rather you have a terrible attitude, rather you have an STD, you burning down there, it's on fire. You understand what I'm saying to you? Rather you're a whore, whatever it is, something's wrong if you're 39 and you desire kids and you desire marriage and you don't have kids and you ain't never been married. Something's wrong. Something's also wrong if you're dating someone younger than you. Because that means everyone in your age bracket, they've disqualified you. So you got to go out here and find some young, dumb man who's still thinking with his D, like Jalen Green. Jalen Green is thinking with his D. You understand what I'm saying to you? Draya wouldn't have been able to pull this off with anyone her age. They would have seen her coming miles away. Same thing with Brittany Renner. She had to trick PJ Washington. She wasn't going to trick Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick made her buy her own plane ticket, spanked her cheeks, and made her fly herself back home. PJ Washington was a fan, a young, goofy Gen Z dude, thinking with his D, never thought he'd get the opportunity to smash her, came in there and cut her a check. Same thing with Jalen Green. Never thought he would get the opportunity to smash a Draya Michele. Every other man with money, right, who's older or 50 Cent or something like that, knows better than the nut in her. But Jalen Green doesn't, so they're looking to take advantage of you. It's a scam. This is why I said a woman who has a baby with you with no ring is trying to scam you. She's trying to scam you for child support. What she's saying to you is, I don't believe you're going to marry me, so I'm going to stick you with this kid so that way you have to deal with me. And if you don't stay with me, then I'm going to get you for child support. A woman who would get in a long-term relationship because Draya and Jalen Green weren't a fling. They've been in a whole relationship. Again, why would a 39-year-old woman want to be in a relationship with a 23-year-old boy? It doesn't make sense. It's the reverse. It should be the opposite. It doesn't work the other way. There's no benefits to that outside of sex. Which is why I said if it's a fling, that's one thing. But long term, she only wants to do that because she knows any man her age is too smart to take her serious. Let me see if I can manipulate this young boy who's stuck thinking with his D and only looking at how fat my butt is and how big my breasts are. And let me manipulate him into nothing in me so I can get my retirement plan. It is a scam. There is no benefit to an older woman dating a younger man long term. Unless that younger man has come into wealth fast before his brain is fully developed when he's still thinking with his D and she sees him as an easy come up. Like Draya sees Jalen Green. So when you are a young man, if you're going to deal with an older woman, you need to smash and keep it moving. Simple as that. And if you want my opinion, if I'm a young man, I'm only dealing with an older woman if she makes more money than me. Straight up. Like when I was younger in high school, I had a sugar mama for a little bit. She was fine. But she was a sugar mama. She was the one taking the risk because she was the one who had money. I'm not going to date a woman older than me and I make more money than her because I know that it's a scam. But y'all got to also understand my sugar mama, it was a fling. We go on trips and do stuff, but she was there for the D, for young D. She wasn't trying to scam me. Again, a cougar is different. A sugar mama is different than a woman who wants to date a young man. It makes no sense for a woman to date a young man unless she is scamming. Just like it makes no sense for a woman to have a child of a man who she is not married to, unless she doesn't ever believe she's good enough to get married, or she just doesn't desire marriage, and she's trying to scam you for your seed to then put you on child support. That's the angle that I want to come from. That's the message that I want to put out there. The hell with the age gap thing. That's a waste of time. All right? So young men, take two things from these videos. Take two things from this video. One, any woman who is willing to have your child without a ring, there's a scam to it. She either has extremely low self-esteem, she comes from a very low value family, or she's trying to scam you. Any older woman who wants to deal with you long term, and it is not just a fling, she is trying to scam you. It makes no sense logically for her to do this. All right? I want you men to take those two things away from this video. All right? It'll save your life and it'll save your finances. With that being said, y'all, I am Alex and I am out. Peace.